Stephen Kildea is a plant pathologist at the Teagasc Crops Research Centre in Oak Park, County Carlow. As many chemicals have been and are under review at EU level, we asked Stephen how the loss of these products is affecting Irish cereal production and yields.
Farmers require fungicides. It's one of the tools that they really require to control these diseases. The other tools, of course, are going to be agronomy. Unfortunately, the agronomy can only get us so far, and the conditions that we face in Ireland, those mild conditions, will promote the development of diseases. So fungicides, we have a range of fungicides, whether STHIs, azoles, and you mentioned Bravo or chlorothalonil. This is a multi-site fungicide. It's been around quite a long time at this stage. It is one of the ones that's up for review in the near process. Why is it important to the Irish farmer? It's important from two real aspects. The first aspect, of course, is going to be control. And it's a very specific sort of mode of action, or not mode of action, but fungicide. And it's very effective at controlling diseases such as septoria on wheat and ramularia on spring and winter barley. From its second aspect in terms of importance, it's very important from an anti-resistance measurement. So it is included with those higher risk resistance fungicides such as your STHIs, such as your azoles. We call it a multi-site because it's more than likely targeting a number of different targets within the pathogen, which means that it's at a lower risk of resistance development.
Stephen recently completed a report on the potential impacts that the loss of chlorothalonil may have on the productivity of wheat and barley grown in Ireland.
Immediately we look at it, and we can look at it at those two components. The first component, the anti-resistance, we lose that as a tool. So we would suspect that the other modes of action will be more at risk of resistance development and spread. And then from the second aspect, we can see that because we already have some instances of resistance in septoria and ramularia, if we lose that control aspect, we anticipate that there will be an impact on disease control in the field and then subsequently on yield. So to try and get a gauge or an idea of what that yield loss might be, we've looked at trials from 2016 and 2017. We took those 2 years because we think they are our key years in identifying where the problems would be. They're the years where we start to see resistance or reductions in sensitivity to the STHIs and the azoles. We compared trials where we had the fungicides, your STHIs, your azoles by themselves, but also then with chlorothalonil added into the mix. We looked at the disease and we looked at the yield. Now, if we take just the yield per se itself, what we can do is we can regard the yield that's achieved with the fungicides and chlorothalonil as potential yield. And when we drop out that chlorothalonil, we can see what that yield impact would be. In terms of winter wheat, we had quite a number of trials where we could make those comparisons. And we saw some that actually had a very, very negative or a very, very minor loss, up to some that actually would have had up to 17% potential yield loss. So when we convert that into actually what this means then for the farmer, you can see that depending on grain prices, this could have a very significant impact on the net margin for the farmer.